I'm Pastor Matt, and this is the Ember Exchange. So, whether we're talking about a message from our church, something from the Bible, or interviewing a guest, we will do it unrushed, one puff at a time, the same as the best way to enjoy a cigar. Today, I'd like to talk about one of Jesus's messages that he shared. He started out by saying that we should not lay up treasures on earth, but rather treasures in heaven. And then he tells a series of examples to help us to understand what he means. He says that no man can serve two masters. He says that we shouldn't worry and be anxious. He says that we should consider the birds of the air and the flowers in the field. And what he's saying, the point he's making through all of those examples is that he's likening everything is in couplets, treasures in heaven and treasures on earth. And he says, no man can serve two masters because you will value one more than the other, love one and hate the other. He says, look at the birds of the air, how that they don't plant and they don't harvest, but they have plenty to eat because God feeds them. Aren't we more important than they are? When he's talking about the flowers, he says, that they don't make clothes and they don't dress themselves, but God causes them to look as beautiful as they do. He talks about our worry and our anxiety, that we shouldn't worry about tomorrow because tomorrow is going to worry about itself. And he examples that with, by worrying about it, can you add a day to your life? By worrying about it, can you add an inch to your height? That some things are fixed and some things are changeable. And as he brings all of this together, what he's saying is lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, not treasures on earth. And what is meant by treasure there is the thing of value. What do we place the most value on? Do we place the most value on the things of this life or on the things of the next life, on the things of earth or on the things of heaven? And I referenced a scripture from the Psalms where it says that we should guard our hearts, heart being the thing you think about the most, the center of your being, that we should guard our hearts because out of that thing we think about the most, that thing we value the most, flows out all of the things related to our lives. And, as I think about that, where am I building treasure? Where am I placing the most value in my life? Is it in my family? Is it in my job? Is it in my bank account? Is it in my relationships? Is it in the way that people see me and my reputation? Or is it in what I am doing to serve God? And I don't say any of this to make anybody think that we've placed our value in the wrong things and that we're doing something wrong, because this is not in any way something to show anyone how they're doing something wrong. I think this is a message of liberation, because so often we get stuck in a pattern where we know we're not living to our potential. We know we aren't serving God the best that we could. We know we aren't living up to what God has created us to be. And we get stuck in this pattern of saying, well, this is how I am. And I think what is most powerful about this is that Jesus is instructing us to place our value in the things of heaven, not in the things of earth. And in the Psalms, it says, hey, watch what you're thinking, because the way you're thinking drives all the things in your life. And that's why I think it's a message of liberation, because it's not telling us that what we're valuing and what we're thinking is wrong. It's telling us that what we're valuing and what we're thinking can be changed. And I think that's the real message of liberation we find through Christ. We find our salvation, we find our forgiveness, but beyond that, we find that we can change, that we can be something better, that we can grow into something better, that we can find a way to be more useful to Christ, to his kingdom and the people in our lives and our communities and our families. And for me, that's a real word of encouragement. And that's what I wanted to share with you today. And so thank you for that. Thank you for your time. And so until next time, keep your fire burning, keep your cigar lit, and make sure you send us your burning questions.